Hey Chris, it's I don't know, another week of cyber issues, and this week
What?
I figured we could probably talk a little bit about what's been going on with Zoom in general, or I think some of the green room stuff we are talking about around some of the fear mongering of what's going on, and let people make their own decision on Zoom. So what actually happened?
They released a new terms of service, and initially they didn't clarify their use of content during the Zoom meetings in AI training because everybody's jumping on the AI train, right? Like
Sure,
artificial intelligence, everybody's jumping on it.
absolutely.
Everybody wants to use different models. There's a ton of like large language models or LLMs is what they're called. Look, everybody's jumping on it. Terms of service are going to be updated. They didn't clarify very well early on that, people read 10.4 and then you look at the bottom and it says, hey, we won't use your audio, video, or chat to train it. But it kind of conflicted with what they said in 10.4 for the customer license grant. Um, they've since updated this to where they basically have said, hey, we're not going to use any audio, video, chat, screen sharing, attachments, or any communication like customer content, such as poll results, whiteboards, or reactions to train Zoom or third party artificial intelligence models. So they've clarified that. There was some fear mongering going out there where people were just like, oh my God, you should stop using Zoom immediately. All right. If we fear monger every issue that comes out like this, nobody's going to be able to do anything. We're all going to move back to like living on a farm, growing our
Pen
own
and
food.
paper.
Yeah. Which, you know, where are we going to be with that? So terms of service are always sticking points with everything you do. Has anybody ever read the iTunes TOS, the
Yeah,
Microsoft
right.
365 one?
Well,
Google's?
they
Nobody
they
reads any
put
of this.
the lawyers and stuff get together. They put stuff on in the terms of service because internally, the from a support perspective, they might need to get into it.
Mhm.
Yes, things have certainly changed with people wanting to use the AI modeling and train their models. Yes, it can happen, but is that really what they're doing every day? And then I
Yeah.
know I saw one picture, one thing, one of the videos out there was the guy was ranting and raving about the Zoom being a Chinese-based company and all the data is going to them. Yeah, there's been issues in the past with
Yeah.
data center things, but are they really a
Yeah.
Chinese company?
No, they're a U.S. public company that has investors just like everybody else. And look,
So anyway,
there's remember the talk about the end-to-end encryption that was talked about as well,
yep.
where they're like, well, Zoom controls the keys and they can still read everything. Okay, guys, if you use Facebook, if you use Zoom, if you use Teams, if you use WhatsApp, all of those have end-to-end encryption. But guess who controls the keys? The vendor. You don't. They don't give you customer keys to protect it. So yes, if they truly wanted to snoop on it, they could. Are they going to? I mean, the risk of that actually happening is pretty low. Is it possible? Sure, it's possible. But is it any different than talking on your phone and have somebody wiretap your phone?
True.
It's possible. Is the risk really high? Mm-hmm.
So back in 2020, I know that some of the that Zoom was banned from certain places, and there was some bunch of people jumping on
Yeah,
Teams. You think we're going to see that again?
I mean, I think Teams is good for a lot of things as far as internal communication, things like that. It still lacks integrations. So marketing teams and things like that are still going to use Zoom. I mean, it really depends on what level in your business you're talking about. If you're worried about things getting leaked on Zoom, then don't use it for confidential stuff. Use it for marketing purposes. Use it for um,
Sure.
maybe sales. Maybe it depends on how confidential you want to get, or like if you have some information. But Teams, like, do I trust Zoom more than Microsoft? But it's not my decision to make. It's not your decision to make. It's a business decision to make. What's the risk of using it?
Right.
And you just have to determine that for your business. You have to think about it. Like, would you rather use Zoom or would you rather go find some open source one that's sitting on the internet that you know nothing about, that has no code review or anything like that, and use that instead? Does that make you safer as an organization? The answer's probably not.
No, it's like you said, people really need to assess the risk and figure out where they are, and
And and this AI thing's gonna get far worse. Like, you want to bore yourself, read some terms of service. Like, everybody's gonna be training AI models. Everybody. If you consume on it or you do something with it, they're gonna be using AI models.
I saw an AI model for one of the coaching one of the guys that does online coaching, and he's got his own video platform, and they said, listen, you can take all the classes that you've put together, feed it into our new AI model, and then create a chatbot to be responding, that's going to start responding as you. Couple that with these voice AIs, and we won't have to even get out of bed in the morning.
Oh, have you seen the avatar one where you can make your own avatar? It takes your basically your likeliness and just basically makes an AI model out of you.
No, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, you can train for your voice, and then it basically makes an avatar that looks exactly like you, so you don't even have to do the videos anymore. You just type in what you want to do, and it just uses all your mannerisms and does it for you.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, I was playing with something on my iPhone and took a photo of my grandson and put a voice to it, and he got head tilts and lip movements, and it was from a still photo. Granted, it was voiceover, but
they're using AI in video game development too, and Epic for the next Unreal Engine, they showed it off. They were able to take a photo of somebody standing on a stage and create an entire character model in less than 5 minutes with AI that would normally take hours or days or whatever to do live on stage. And the model, they just fed it into the model, and it looked exactly like the person. So the world's changing. This is a big deal, but again, we all have to assess risk in our own business, again, like we talked about, personally and professionally, right? Like, what is acceptable risk? Having a program, having a plan is really the only answer here, and then you just have to determine what's acceptable to you.
Cool.
If you're not talking about it, that's really the bad thing that we need to focus on.
And that just brings us right back to where we need to be when working and talking to anybody out there. Assess your risk. Go through a risk assessment, figure out what you're using, where it is, and what else is out there. Because Zoom might be one of your risks, but I'm guaranteed there's probably bigger ones sitting in people's businesses this morning. I was looking at a Gmail account this morning. I found 26,000 externally shared documents at this place. And they shouldn't be sharing any. So, if things aren't configured the way you want it, or people are doing things a little differently than you expect them to be, there's your bigger risk. It goes back to the employees.
Boy, we're going down a rabbit hole. But
yeah, I know.
Real quick on that. If your links aren't auto expiring, you probably should think about that. Because you could, like you said, what was it, 26,000?
26,000 externally shared files. They've got the total Google Drive platform for these guys was almost 5 terabytes of data.
Yeah, we have we enforce a policy internally where all of our links that we share for like customer documentation, stuff like that, expire after 21 days.
Perfect.
I can expire quicker than that, but like the maximum length that's allowed is 21 days. And if you don't put a link, that's 21 days. So we don't have to worry about tracking links for like years and stuff like that. And what's the worst part that comes out of that? Somebody has to request the link again because for whatever reason in 21 days they didn't click on it and download whatever they needed to.
Right.
It's one of those things.
Anyway, guys, if you like this content, if we're helping you, click like, share, whatever platform you're looking on. If you need help getting a risk assessment together, reach out to Chris or I, and we can certainly help you move you forward to get that, because I'm sure that your information policy requires a risk assessment. You're just not doing it.
And I have a pro tip about assessing risk. when you get in a roller coaster, make sure that the thing that's holding you in is actually snapped shut.
Good move.
Yeah, I mean, just reduces your risk of, getting flung off the roller coaster. So
that's a great way to end it.
Wear a safety belt because, windshields are a thing. Hey, these are simple tips that we can all live by. Don't ride a scooter without a helmet. That one burns. I'm sorry. There's a story there, guys. But things that we just need to assess every day in our lives. Don't run with a blindfold on and down a sidewalk. Simple things in life.
Thanks
I left Bob speechless.
Thanks for the scooter reference. I needed to think about that. I am traveling next week, and
we're gonna see each other. We're gonna see each other in a couple days. Yeah.
Yep.
Actually, we're gonna see each other a lot in the next 2 weeks. Oh, I feel bad for Bob. Everybody sent apologies to Bob that he has to spend time with me.
It's all good. So next week, Chris and I will be somewhere live together, and
it's gonna be cooler next week than it will be the following week. Oh, dude, it's gonna be so hot the following week. So okay. We'll probably be shooting together next week, guys. So
yep.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Have a good week.